Hurricane Beryl strikes Jamaica as Caymans, Mexico brace for storm's impact. NGA still in Reuters. Hurricane Beryl thrashed Jamaica with heavy winds and rain on Wednesday, killing at least one person after forging a destructive, water-soaked path across smaller Caribbean islands over the past couple days. The death toll from the powerful Category 4 hurricane climbed to at least 10, but it is widely expected to rise further as communications come back online across drenched islands damaged by flooding and deadly winds. In Jamaica, Beryl's AWOL skirted the island's southern coast, pummeling communities as emergency groups rushed to evacuate people from flood-prone areas. It's terrible. Everything's gone. I'm in my house in Scarrickset, Amoy, Wellington, a 51-year-old cashier who lives in Top Hill, a rural farming community in Jamaica's Southern Street, Elizabeth Parish. It's a disaster. A woman died in Jamaica's Hanover Parish after a tree fell on her home, Richard Thompson, acting director general at Jamaica's disaster agency, said in an interview on local news. Nearly 1,000 Jamaicans were in shelters by Wednesday evening, Thompson added. The island's main airports were closed and streets were mostly empty after Prime Minister Andrew Holness issued a nationwide curfew for Wednesday. We can do as much as we can do, as is humanly possible, and we leave the rest in the hands of God, Holness said earlier on Wednesday, urging residents in vulnerable areas to evacuate. The loss of life and damage wrought by Beryl underscores the consequences of a warmer Atlantic Ocean, which scientists cite as a telltale sign of human-caused climate change, fueling extreme weather that differs from past experience. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one of the hardest-hit areas in the Eastern Caribbean, said in a radio interview that the country's Union Island was flattened by Beryl. Everybody is homeless. It is going to be a Herculean effort to rebuild. Speaking to state media, Nerissa Gittins McMillan, permanent secretary at St. Vincent and the Grenadines Agriculture Ministry, warned of possible food shortages after 50% of the country's plantain and banana crops were lost, with significant losses also to root crops and vegetables. Power outages were widespread across Jamaica, while some roads near the coast were washed out. By Wednesday evening, the eye of the spiraling hurricane was located about 100 miles, 161 kilometers west of Kingston, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, as the storm's core headed toward the Cayman Islands, where hurricane conditions were expected late tonight. Beryl is packing maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour, 209 kilometers per hour. The force of the winds is expected to weaken somewhat in the next day or two, according to the NHC, though it cautioned that Beryl would remain at or near major hurricane strength as it passed the Cayman Islands. Beryl is expected to dump 4 to 6 inches, 10 to 15 cm of rain on the Cayman Islands overnight and into Thursday. Large swells were expected to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions, the NHC said. The center added that a hurricane warning was in effect for Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, as well as the eastern coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, including for the country's top beach resort, Cancun. Additional confirmed fatalities so far include at least 3 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a senior official told Reuters, where Union Island has suffered severe destruction of over 90% of buildings. In Grenada, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell described Armageddon-like conditions with no power and widespread destruction, while also confirming 3 deaths.